The doctor says no. Oftentimes, doctors have to be agreeable people, right? As my friend said, when you interact with a doctor, it's like a dance. What do you want? What do they want to give you? Sort of a compromise. And I feel it's interesting because sometimes you say things, and most of the doctors I met recently have been agreeable people, and they just want to agree with you. Nobody wants to say directly no, right? Other than the educator who just said no, right? But I don't think she's very good. And I think that, being agreeable is good to a certain extent, but what if somebody is saying something wrong? Do you say, no, you're wrong? Right? I've rarely done that so directly. In my experience, I've done that a few times. There's one lady who said her husband needed stronger antibiotics like vancomycin. I said, no, I'm the doctor. The answer is no. And I was right. But is it good to say no directly? Is it bad? It's like little kids. Sometimes they just need someone to tell them a stern no. The most recent example, when I saw the fourth hand surgeon, and I was making a comment how MRIs can't diagnose tendon injury. Like there's just no way to tell whether I really injured tendon. He said, no, that's not correct. You can get it. And I read something about radiology, right? Saying it's really hard to read a finger MRI and see whether or not there's tendon injury because it's so subtle. I was chatting with my friend and he made a comment that, yeah, because the surgeon doesn't depend on the radiologist to read it. He'll read it himself. And that's the funny thing. Surgeons are better at reading images in their field than a radiologist. Neurologists where I worked often caught strokes on CT scans that the radiologist didn't catch or didn't see. So yes, it is possible. No, he wasn't saying that the radiologist could read it perfectly. He was saying that it is possible. I think that encounters an issue that's more technical. When something is not impossible, but very difficult, not impossible, but doable, do you say it's possible or not? Right? I think he was correct, and he was being technical about it. And I appreciate that. But I met other hand surgeons who just sort of nodded along when I said it's hard to diagnose or it can't be diagnosed definitively. I think they're also correct. But going back to the idea of telling somebody no, you're wrong, I'm right, I know more about this, I feel it's a good thing. You don't have to do it in a harsh way. But aren't they coming to seek expert advice? Isn't it good to hear it from somebody who knows? Who may correct you when you're wrong, because I'm just a patient in this case. I may know a little bit more than the average Joe. But I want expertise. I want somebody who knows what they're talking about. Who will tell me, no, you're wrong, and who can explain why.